Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to a brand new video. I'm gonna show you guys 15 super inexpensive, cheap Valentine's DIYs. Most of them are items that I bought from the Dollar Tree, and some of the items I've already had at home. Let's start by doing a garland pom-pom. And I'm going to show you guys in here two different ways on how I did my pom-poms, and then you'll make the decision on which one you liked. At the end, you'll see which one I liked, but in here, there is the first way that I will be doing it. It's with a fork. You got to make sure that you put an extra little strength of yarn in between the forks right in the middle, and then you wrap the fork around between 50 and 60 times. I did it for 60 times in here because I didn't want it to be super thin, but then I didn't want it to be super full since it is a garland, and I want my pom-poms to be slightly big but not too big, if I make sense. And then I don't like to take the yarn away from the fork before I wrap around it, because if I take it out, then it's really hard, at least for me, to make loop in between. And then before taking it out, I make sure to cut it down in the edges. You can do it so many different ways. You can take it out and then cut it, and then at the end, when you have your pom-pom, you just gotta make sure to kind of give it a round shape. However you want it, you could have it as a round shape or even a little bit longer. And then the other way in here that I'm going to show you, it's with your hands. Personally, I like the way they came out with your hands. It's a little bit fuller, a little bit more symmetrical, and I just like it a little bit better. But I really wanted it to share with you guys how to do it with a fork in case you are not comfortable doing it with your fingers. And then the same, you will just have to wrap around your yarn around your 3 middle fingers between 50 and 60 times. Again, I did it for 60 times, and then you just gotta cut it in between the edges. Gotta make sure not to cut your fingers. I know it looks a little bit unsafe in here, but trust me, I was really careful when I was cutting it. And then again, you just gotta make sure to wrap it around, and then make a really good knot, so that way the strings of yarn don't come out. And again, you just cut it around to make a nice round shape. And these are the two ways on how to make your pom-poms. Personally, I like the ones with the hands, and I end up doing all my pom-poms with my hand. And I don't know if you guys seen my haul, and I mentioned that I wanted to really decorate the house with pinks and whites, and it wasn't hard to find pink items. It was just items that were really expensive, and I didn't want to invest a lot of money in it. So that's why I made the decision on making all this DIYs, and most of them are pink and white colors, and you'll see in here. But then to make your garland, you just got to make sure to have like a really long string of yarn, and then start opening your pom-poms in between where you wrap them around, and then put the yarn. At the beginning, I had my big bowl of yarn, didn't cut it, and I started putting all the pom-poms in the middle, but then that was really hard, so that I made the decision to cut a big strength of yarn, and then that's how I end up doing it. And this is our first DIY. The second DIY, it's this amazing 2 hearts together or attached. I like it, but I just don't like the decoration that it comes with. I feel that it kind of looks like Christmas vibes, even though they're hearts. So in here, I just took off all the decoration that it has around, and again, we are gonna use a yarn. Fun fact about me, I love to yarn, and I haven't had the time to do it again, but I'm pretty sure I want to do it again. It just gives me a lot of serenity every time I'm doing yarn. I used to make beanies for the kids, and blankets, and a lot of all those little things with yarn. But since I do have them in here for a few years already, I thought it was the right time to use them because they are white and pink. So all I'm doing in here, it's just wrap around the heart shapes with the yarn. I only gave it one time. I didn't wrap it around twice. I thought with the one time it was perfectly. I didn't want it to be too bulky. I just wanted to make sure that the hearts were covered and that all the color of the actual hearts are not shown. And in here again, I was having so much trouble because I didn't cut the yarn, and I wasn't sure how much I was gonna take of yarn, so that's why I didn't cut it at the beginning. But then when you guys see it in here, I end up cutting it in the other heart and then kept on wrapping it around. And then in here, to make it a little bit more prettier and more nice, I am gonna be adding some of the flowers that I bought. I just took off all of the flowers and put it around the hearts in only one area. Now for a third DIY, I had so many ideas with this wooden hearts, but I really wanted it to make another garland. So that's what I'm going to be doing with these hearts. I'm going to be painting them with pink and then the other ones with purple, but I didn't want a really dark purple, and that was the only color that I had. So what I did, since I didn't had any white either, I just squirt a little bit of pink and a little bit of purple in the other one and then just combine it, so that way it could give it like a little bit more of a kind of like a lavender color. And that's what I did with some of the hearts, and then half of the hearts with pink. I think I did 5 pink and 5 purple. And then all I'm doing here, once they are dry, I'm gonna make a little bit of a few holes onto the top of the hearts, so that way I was able to put all the strength of yarns. I really didn't want to put it in the middle. I thought it would look a little bit better if I would have them like on the edges, so that way they could look like a straight. And then with the same little tool that I made the holes, I'm gonna be adding the yarns. I did cut my yarn 12 inches wide, and I'm gonna be having them like around 4 inches apart from each other. And I'm gonna continue putting all the yarns into every hole that the hearts have until I am done with all of them. And then I didn't show it in here, but to be a little bit more secured, I did add a few drops of glue on the back of the hearts where the yarn was, so that way they could be a little bit more sturdy when you will hang them. And then for our fourth DIY, I wanted to have a few frames or canvases with Valentine's decorations, but again, I wasn't able to find some of the good frames that I would love for my house, so I end up buying a few canvases from the dollar store, and then with the same heart that I had in here, I made a shape and then just add a few flowers. So easy and simple. And then add Xoxoxo at the end. That one didn't came out the way I wanted, so I end up erasing it and redo it with a Sharpie, and this is the way it came out. So far, this is one of my favorite. And then I continue using canvases, and I really wanted to do a calendar, like a countdown till Valentine's, not till Christmas, but to Valentine's. And in here I had this alphabet stamps, and I'm gonna be using them. I don't have any ink, and that's why you see me in here that I'm putting I'm coloring it with the red Sharpie. That way I was able to put it in here. It really didn't came out as I wanted to, like really a strong color, but I was okay with it at the end. And then in here I screwed up. I really wanted to use the red only for the number 14 and then pink for the rest of the hearts, but I end up doing the first one with red. And in here, that's why you'll see me that I skipped a few hearts and went straight into the 14th, so that way I wasn't able to screw it up again and then continue with the pink ones. I did fix that one. I used white corrector and then repainted with pink. And then for the other DIY in here, we are gonna continue using some wooden hearts, and these ones are the big ones. I did bought 2 of them, and one of them it's going to be pink and the other one it's going to be lavender. And also I did the same. I put some pink and then purple and then combined both of the colors, so that way it could be a little bit more of a lighter purple color. And the hearts that are on the side were my inspirations for this ones, and actually for the other little ones as well. You'll see at the end. And I'm gonna be using some stencils that I did bought from the Dollar Tree years ago, and I actually did found this round ones this year, just to add a few quotes into the hearts. The first one, the letters were really big, and I ended up putting forever in between, like half and half, but I was okay with it. And then on the pink one, we are gonna put kisses for 25 cents. I love this quote. I thought it's pretty nice. And again, I'm gonna be using this, not stencils, but letters that I have, just to have the shape of it, and then just do the letters around. I'm not gonna be gluing them. I just need them for put the names in it. And that's how those 2 came out. And like I said, I'm going to continue doing the same for the rest of the little tiny hearts. And I'm actually going to be doing them as like the candy hearts. But in here, you'll see that the stencils that I had for this ones are too big. So that's why I end up doing it with my own hands, even though everything is made with your own hands, but you know what I'm saying. I don't like my handwriting, but you can do whatever you want. You can do it with your hands. You can print out a few nice quotes and then attach it to the hearts. It's up to you, but I thought they came out pretty nice. It actually they do look like candy hearts. And this was my other DIY. Now let's continue with a love sign that I also bought from the Dollar Tree, and super simple and easy. We are going to paint it with a lavender colored again. You'll see me in here that I am using a lot of pink and purple again, because I didn't have no white, so I didn't want the hard and strong purple, so that's why I'm using both of the colors. And we're just gonna use it up with a little bit of a few flowers and attach them to 2 of the edges or on one letter. It's up to you. It's your decision. Make your decision on your DIYs, and that's how that one came out. Now for this frame, I wanted to paint it in the front at the beginning, but I thought it was a really pretty frame as well. And even though I'm not using any black and red, maybe in the future, if I change my mind with colors, I'll reuse it. So what I did in here is I color the back of the frame with pink and just add a few quotes again with a stencil from the Dollar Tree and add a key. That key that I have in there, I had it for so many years already, and since it was a decoration that I have from one of my crepes, I'm not gonna use it again, so I thought this was the perfect time for me to reuse it in a different DIY. And all I did in here again is just add a heart, color it or fill it up and just add the key. So that was a pretty nice one, the key to my heart. Now let's continue with our other DIY, and obviously we had to have some wreaths. We cannot go without any wreaths, and I'm gonna be using this heart stencil that I bought from the Dollar Tree. And remember that I said that I wouldn't use flowers because I was going to spend a lot. Well, I end up buying a few more pink flowers and adding them around. I try not to put them two together, so that way I was able to cover the heart but not use a lot of flowers, so that way I wasn't able to spend a lot of money. So this is the way it came out in here. And for the extra holes around it, or for the parts where the heart was showing, I add all the leaves from the flower, so that way it was looking fuller but not too full, and you will still be able to like not see the opening spaces around the heart. And this is the way it came out. All I just add on the back, it's a loop with this white string that I've been using that I bought from Target, and this is the way it came out. I thought it was so pretty. And since I did had another one from last year that I end up not using, and I totally forgot that I had another one, I really wanted to make another wreath. So what I used in here, it's some of this heart-shaped what is it? They're not napkins, they're like placemats for cup holders, I think. And I'm gonna be using those around the heart the way you see it in here. So you fold the heart in half and then in half, and then just putting them around the heart with some hot glue. But if you guys can see in here, I started doing the 3 lines of the hearts, and at the end you'll see me that I'm taking off all the bottom ones because I didn't like it. I wanted it to be really full, but I wasn't gonna have enough hearts because the packet, I think it comes with 25, and it wasn't going to be enough for the full heart. So I end up using all of them, but then at the end you'll see me that I take off all the bottom ones because it was going to look really nice, fuller, but again I didn't have enough. So I thought it was okay taking them out and just putting all the hearts in the first row of the heart, the way you guys see in here. I'm hoping I'm explaining well. If not, you guys can see in here that I am taking off all the other ones and just use the ones from the first part of the heart. And then again, I'm just gonna be adding the strength on the back. And honestly, I was gonna leave the heart the way it was in here, just with white, and that was it. But when I turned it, I thought it was really like boxy on the heart, so I end up adding more flowers. You'll see me in here that I'm using a lot of flowers, but I thought that is like a right combination, and this is the way it came out. I know I've said that the other ones were my favorite, but this is my second favorite. And then for the card in here for the truck, and again, I think it's pretty, but it just has too much glitter and it's super red, and I don't want to use red around my house, even though I end up using kind of like a few touches of red, if you guys can say, with the heart that I add into the calendar. It's not a lot of red, but it's somehow. And so since I want to reuse this truck, all I did is take off the hearts that are on the back of the truck, and then I'm not gonna be using the front, but I'm gonna turn the truck around and I'm going to paint it pink. I did 2 coats of pink, and I was really impatient in here because it took me 2 days, guys, to do all those DIYs. But I used my hair dryer, so that way they would have been able to dry a little bit better. And then I'm gonna be adding a few touches for the tires, but then again, since the truck wasn't dry enough. I waited a little bit, and that's why you guys see that the tires are not in full. And then I'm gonna be adding my candy heart shapes that we did at the beginning. So far, I know I said the other ones were my favorite, but this is one of my first favorite ones. I thought it looked so amazing, and if you guys can see in here, you can still reuse the other part. You can paint it different colors and still reuse the red part. And then this is what I was talking about, that I add the few touches. I did use that little pot container to make the outline of the circle, and I screwed up in here, but that's fine. It's a DIY, and that you're supposed to screw up, right? And then I'm going to be adding the touches with white marker. I didn't had any white markers, and all I had is this marker that it's for chalk boards, but it came out okay. I thought it was okay, and all I just did is just add the parts of the truck. And you'll see me in here that I keep turning the truck around because I was looking on how it goes, so that way I can kind of do the same. I'm not an artist, but I try to do the best. You'll quote me in here and tell me and let me know if you like it. Now, comment down below which one have been so far your favorite. We are not done, but let me know down in the comments which one it's your favorite so far. But again, I just added the white touches in here, and this is one, I know, but I'm gonna say it. This is one of my favorite ones. Again, because you can reuse it. You don't have to just go with pink. If you change your mind in the future years of not using pink and white, you can just turn it around and use red and black, right? But this is the way this one came out. Super happy with how it came out. So cartoon vibes, and still with the hearts. I hope you guys enjoy all these DIYs. I know I didn't show that love black one, but I did show it on my haul, and all I did is just add a few flowers, and that was it. I hope you guys enjoy this DIY. Don't forget to comment down below which one is your favorite. Let me know which one was your least favorite, and I hope that you enjoy it. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up, and if you are not subscribed, I hope you do, so that way we can be a bigger family. And until next time.
This might be crazy, I hope it is. Baby, this is what we do.